Good evening and welcome to the SPARC meeting. Let the record show that the regular SPARC meeting is now called to order. Would the clerk please call roll?
Chair Velasco.
Here.
Vice Chair Bickford.
Here.
Committee Member Carlton.
Here.
Committee Member Markel.
Here.
Committee Member Price.
Here.
Committee Member Tuthill.
Present.
We do have a quorum with 6 members.
Great. Thank you, James. Approval of the December 5th, 2024 regular minutes. Please review the minutes. Any comments or questions? Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Thank you all. James, please call for a vote.
Chair Velasco.
Yes.
Vice Chair Bickford.
Yes.
Committee Member Carlton.
Yes.
Committee Member Markel.
Yes.
Committee Member Price.
Yes.
Committee Member Tuthill.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously with members present.
Great, thank you, James. Okay, item number 3, Brews and Bites event update. Staff, would you like to do a presentation?
Am I on now? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Hi, SPARC. I'm Alicia Curtis. I'm a recreation coordinator here at the City of Santee. I am specifically special events and facility rentals, so I will be doing the Brews and Bites update today. So Brews and Bites this year will be on Saturday, October 18th from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m., again at Town Center Community Park East. This year we're doing something a little different. We're going to have some Halloween elements to try to hopefully hype up the ticket sales. We'll have costume contests, some Halloween decor, some interactive elements that we're looking into right now. So we're very excited about that. Our band this year will be Betamax, which is a very popular local band. They are an 80s band. And one of the benefits are they are kind of already in a costume. They're very high energy, very interactive. So we think that will also be a great selling point this year. Tickets, the early bird tickets will go on sale on April 1st. General admission will be $50. Designated driver will be $35. And reserve tables will be $175 again this year. On July 1st, general admission will go up to $55. Designated driver will stay at $35. Reserve tables will stay at $35. And we'll have a $5 senior and military discount, so those tickets will be $50. The vendor stipend this year will also remain at $250 as in previous years. Does anyone have any questions? Sure.
On the stipend for the vendors, isn't that kind of set low?
It's the same stipend that we had last year, and we had fairly good attendance, so we're hoping that it'll be reasonable this year as well.
They ran out of food last year, and so I'm wondering, with that low of a stipend, is that going to deter a lot of these these vendors like Olive Garden and other things that we've counted on in the past? They weren't there last year.
It's kind of a fine line, right? Because it's a fundraiser, so we have to kind of keep that in mind with how much we can give each vendor.
But before that, how much was it?
So in previous years, I'm not sure before COVID. I know after COVID it was $500. That was because we had supplemented ARPA funds, the American Rescue Plan Act funds. Since those funds are no longer available to us, we've dropped it. So I believe it was $300 after we didn't have the ARPA funds, and now it's $250.
Okay.
Thank you. Dan?
I've got a number of things. I thought we were going to talk more about, what our thoughts were on why we didn't get the attendance that we got, and why we're not making as much money as we thought. We're not going to do that today.
That presentation took place a few SPARC meetings ago.
I believe that was the
Last
December.
meeting, and we were told we'd get another update today, and that you guys were meeting to discuss moving forward. Any meetings happen like that?
We're hoping with the revamped theme and the band starting the marketing early this year that will help. I think part of the lack in sales in the beginning of it was the lack of marketing. So we're hoping that the initial push, having the band already selected, knowing that we have a theme, incorporating the new elements will be a huge help. We also are doing early bird through June 1st. So we're hoping that the first 3 concerts that we have this year, we can market heavily to make sure that people are buying tickets earlier this year as well.
Okay. Here's where I'm going with this, is that we have, 6, 7 free concerts that are competing with our own fundraiser. El Cajon's got 6, 7 free concerts that are also competing with our fundraiser. La Mesa's joined in. A number of other communities are starting to have the same things going on. I'm wondering, and first of all, has this style of fundraiser run its course? We're not making near the money we've made over the last 5 years. It keeps on dwindling. So I think that, my first challenge to my fellow committee people is let's dig deep. Let's look for the next fundraiser. I don't see this coming back. I think between rebranding and COVID and these free concerts that we as the city also give, I think that's just another nail in the coffin. And I don't have the answer for the next big fundraiser, but I would challenge my committee member compadres here to start thinking about what's next, because I think we have a challenge. If this doesn't come back, I'm not saying cancel it this year. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that we need to start taking a look at that and, work real hard to make this successful this year. But let's take a real close look. And also, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion that we present the financials to City Council and get their opinions and their buy-in on how we move forward with the Brews and Bites.
Okay, well, thank you for your comments.
I have a motion out there.
Yes, you do have a motion. I was just about to mention that. You have a motion.
Is that something historically that we've done with the city council?
It depends on what we're talking about, but yes, we can make a motion. We are an advisory committee to the city council, and I'm correct me if I'm wrong though, Nick. The financials of our Brews and Bites Festival goes to the council every year.
Yes, they received that information via council memo.
Okay. So this is something that already takes place once a year. I mean, when we have it, when it's done and the financials are put together, it gets presented, it gets, given to the council already.
Okay, one year's is given to the council. Are they seeing the past 7 years, 8 years?
Okay. You have a motion on the
graph
table.
like we're looking at?
Do we have a second to his motion? Even though it's been presented to the council already for this last year.
What do you want to ask? What should we ask the council?
It's not asking the council. It's his motion on the table right now is to present the financials of last year's.
No, of the last 8 years, let's say.
Okay.
But they should have received them every year anyway. So
Yes.
Don't they get historical data, or do we just say, here's this year?
I'm not sure exactly what we give them. Are you sure?
We report attendance, overall financials, and the council memos. I can't account for the last
But are they
possible 8
seeing?
years, but I know since I've been here, they've been receiving those updates, and I'm pretty sure before I was here, they were receiving those updates.
Okay, so what I hear Dan saying is that he would like the council kind of to have their memory jogged and say, here, these are the financials for the last 10 years for Brews and Bites and previously Bluegrass Festival. And, we'd like to bring it to your attention and rethink maybe this as a fundraiser. Is
Yes.
that- Okay. I can second that motion.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second on providing 10 years or historical data. Okay. unless, before we go with that motion, we don't have to take the motion exactly. Everybody gets to comment first, correct?
If they had, yeah.
Okay. Anyone else have any comments on this agenda item? I do. Okay, Ms. Price.
What is that, what are we trying to prove with that? If it's beneficiary to keep it going?
Yes, to bring council's attention to, what's going on with the brews and bites, and, do they have any recommendations for the brews and bites, or if they have recommendations on what we do next?
Because I think this past year, it was coming back from the COVID and all that stuff. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great,
Okay.
other than the sinkhole.
Yeah, well, and I agree. I think we are coming back. I think this year was, I think the numbers of ticket sales and we, if you remember the previous year, we had all of our vendors bring enough food and drinks for a very large number. So this year, one of our challenges to staff was to give them an updated count of who actually purchased tickets. And I think that was one of the challenges we had this year, because we had hundreds of ticket sales the day of. So when we went back to the businesses, because I'm a small business and I support this event, I also sponsor the event, to get real numbers on how many folks are going to be there. So if you remember 2 years ago when they were handing out entire trays of food to the folks at the end of the event, and I thought it was unfair to our local businesses to be prepared for 2,000 people or 1,500 people, and then 900 people show up. So this year, I think Ms. Marical, us running out of food was a big deal, except for the pizza folks, and we want to say thank you to the pizza folks. But it was based upon numbers because we were worried that the ticket sales weren't up. And so we gave the week of, we gave an updated number of ticket sales, so folks downsized what they brought. And I think that's caused the issue. And I think going forward, we could take that into consideration, that there's going to be, usually on free events, you take in a 33% decline of people saying they're going to come. In this case, we know now that folks, X amount of percentage, buy the tickets the week of. So I don't think we'll undercut the number we're giving to our local businesses on the account, how many ticket sales are sold. So I think we might fix it this year.
I was wondering also if we didn't, say the week of the event, we charge $20 more for that ticket. So if you hold out, you're going to pay $20 more for that ticket. Or the day of, we would have made a lot off of people buying their ticket the last minute. Instead of us, saying, oh, you're going to get the same price and you can wait till the last second to come. This year we say, no, you're going to pay $20 more to wait till the last minute to kind of balance out everybody getting their ticket ahead of time.
That's definitely an idea. And there's the other festivals, the day of tickets are
Yes,
are
are
considerably
much
higher. I think this is honestly, I just think this is a work in progress. We're figuring out post-COVID on how to, I had multiple conversations with staff on last year and the year before on how low these types of events sales were across the board in San Diego. Large events. Yes, sir.
Concern for Dan in particular is that finding a new and developing a new signature event is monumental. Riding this one a little longer is much more acceptable in my mind.
I completely agree with you.
A new signature event is not easy to do.
We're going to have a vote.
I understand, that this isn't, something I'm taking lightly, but I'm
Don't reinvent a wheel at this point.
Yeah, but we've gone through 5 years now of declining sales. and not making a lot of money out of the event. And you know, while people may have enjoyed the event more this past year, that's not reflective of the amount of money that we made last year. It's still showing declining sales. What my challenge to my my committee members is we do need to find another thing. Let's continue to work on this, but let's get all the stakeholders and help that we can get from outside this committee involved and look at what they come up with. I mean, we might be missing something, but it's not any. I don't think it's any one thing anymore, because I'm looking at the number of free concerts that are out there in East County for every community, and we're competing with free concerts.
Yes, ma'am.
If we do start a new event, I don't know how it works for staff, but maybe we can work on both of them at the same time, phasing one in and one out.
Okay. So,
Oh.
yes, ma'am.
Also, I was thinking if we offered non-alcoholic mock drinks, things to bring in other people too, not just people that drink alcohol, I think that would benefit, and we would, not everybody drinks, and it would be nice to have a nice mock, Mai Tai, or, mock drinks, maybe some vegan stuff, because, some people are vegan, not me, but, have a little bit more choices other than just alcohol. To draw in a different, the same crowd, but draw in a bigger portion of our population, so everyone can enjoy it, not just people that come and drink.
Okay. So I want to bring up a couple things. I'd like to definitely second Dr. Tuttle's not reinventing the wheel right now. I think we took some lessons learned from last year's event, and I've had multiple meetings with staff, and we've also talked about other communities' events, and there's some very successful paid events, much more expensive than ours. One of them's the Mount Helix event, and it's $100 and something, and they have upsell stuff, and they only have a couple hours of free stuff. So we've talked about other ways where we can generate some more, income from our event. So and those aren't really finalized yet, but there's been some consideration to talk about some other things at this event that we can generate some more sales. But I think the revamp and the band is amazing. I've been to this band multiple times. They're a very large draw by themselves. Forget about our event. That band is a good draw, and I'm excited that that's the band that's going to be here. The costume theme, people like to dress up. So I really want to see this year and doing a themed event where you could dress up. Everybody likes to dress up. So I'm really, before tonight, before any of this, I was really excited about this event. And I think retooling it a little bit to get some more folks to be out and participate in it. So I'm really excited about how this event's going to go. I have, even though we'll call the vote on giving the historical data to the council, but on this event, I really like what staff's done to kind of retool this event and to give it a little more life and to make it a little different than it's been in the past, because everything's changing. Everything's changing, but there are very successful paid concert events with food and drinks that are going on literally 3 miles, 5 miles from us. So I think we've really looked at, and the staff's really put together and thought about what other people are doing. This year, staff went out to these other events and participated in them. And we're gonna see, we're seeing what works in there, and we're gonna try to bring some of those elements in here. And the mocktails is something we've actually talked about, and that's, definitely something we do. The food is something we talked about. We ran out of food. And so this year, we're making some tweaks. I think this event could be as big and awesome as it was in its glory days before COVID. COVID really messed this up. COVID really messed up the small local businesses wanting to come and give stuff away for free. They barely made it through a 3-year period that was hard on everybody. And I think we're rebounding from that, and I'm hoping this year will be the most successful year we've had in the past 6 years. So
We want to consider putting this on the agenda for next week and debating it internally before we present it to the city council.
no, we have a motion and a second on the table, so we're gonna vote on that right now, and the motion is to present council with past data on the sales and the money, the financials. And I could tell you right now, the financials are terrible compared to what they were 10 years ago. But it's a different time now. I mean, we got through COVID barely with our event, and I think events are rebounding,
And then are we willing to take, if city council says cancel this thing, then we're going to I guess I'm confused. We're supposed to present city council with what we want to do, and now we're asking them what they want us to do.
Right now, we're not presenting them with anything we want to do. The motion on the table and the second is to present them with the financials for the past 8 years or 8 years. So we're not giving them, this is what we want to do. We're giving them, this is what.
So I could just give you like a little snapshot of what this motion means. So what this motion means is essentially staff will prepare a memo, and that memo there's going to be an explanation of the past 8 fiscal years and have a reflective of the fund balance that the fundraiser generated. It's not going to have any recommendations. It's not going to have any other thoughts or internal thoughts from SPARC. It's just going to have, here's a report per SPARC meeting dated, specific time and date. SPARC wanted to share the financials with city council. That's what it is.
Okay. Nick, I would appreciate the words "bring to your attention" because they've been shared. But sometimes if you see things one at a time, it's different than when you put them all together. So we just want them to bring the whole thing to their attention.
No, that's a good point. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we even got a 6-year snapshot a few months ago when we presented to everyone here. So I think council may already probably have a good idea. But if this passes, then we'll culminate all that information to a report and give it to them so they can see.
Any other discussion on this motion? We have a motion on the table.
I did just want to say quickly, we did sell out in 2022. We sold 1,200 tickets, which is kind of why we've had this issue about how many samples people are supposed to bring. We've never really hit this before. So we told them the normal amount. We didn't end up selling out in 2023. We tried to adjust. So obviously it's a work in progress. One of the places we've been hit the most is donations. We used to have a huge amount of donations. We had the giving trees, opportunity drawing, the silent auction used to be gigantic. A lot of those places no longer offer donations, or they're very selective. You have to be invited to have a donation. So that's where we've hit kind of a large wall with some of the fundraising for this event and the overall revenue.
Great, thank you. Yeah. Okay, let's call for a vote.
Chair Velasco.
No.
Vice Chair Bickford.
Yes.
Committee Member Carlton.
Yes.
Committee Member Markow.
Yes.
Committee Member McCarthy.
Yes.
Committee Member Price.
Yes.
Committee Member Tuthill.
No.
Motion passes with 5 yes votes and 2 no votes.
Okay. Thank you, staff, for your update. Number 4, considering the amending the state Santee Parks and Rec Committee bylaws, Article 6, meetings, Section 1, time and place. Dean, I would like, I would like staff to present.
Good evening, SPARC members. As outlined in the agenda statement, this item is brought forward to consider a change in the meeting day and time for the committee. Staff met internally and brought forward a recommendation for the first Wednesday of each month, with meetings starting at 5:30. The reason for the time change a little earlier is just to try and reduce the number of overtime hours to the support staff that have to come and attend and stay 2-3 hours after normal work hours. I would like to note for this item, because it is a bylaw amendment, it would need 2/3 approval of the members present. Given that there's 7 members present at the moment, that would require 5 yes votes.
Excellent. Let's open up for talking. Has everybody had a chance to, well, he just said what it was. I brought it up originally to move our meeting to a different night. And the biggest reason why I did is during the summer, we have a massive amount of events going on Thursdays. And it presents a challenge not only for staff, but for committee members, whether we're going to be able to volunteer and be out on at the different events. So this was something that I personally wanted to get on the agenda. And originally it was to not interfere with our city events that we like to attend and that we are there to volunteer for. But it was also, I wanted to be fiscally responsible. I mean, we have overtime hours that the entire staff has to be here for, and for these events. So my original proposal was for an earlier time, not 5:30. It was originally 4:30, and I've since talked and thought about 5, because 5's a good time. But this is open for discussion. But I want to change the date. I mean, I would like to change the date. That's what I'm bringing forward, and I'd like to open it up to everybody's comments and thoughts. I will start with you, Ms. Carlton.
May I suggest that maybe just during the summer months, we switch to the first Wednesday?
That is a suggestion. Thank you for your suggestion. Mr. Bickford. Ms. Maricol.
I think that's a good suggestion because it is really hard to be at the concert and then have to try to get out of there to get to this meeting on Thursday. A lot happens on Thursday. So, but during the rest of the year, a lot's not going on Thursday except for the summer months. So I'm all in favor for changing the date.
All right, thank you. Hold on. I'll come back to you, Cindy. Ms. Price.
I don't have a problem with it being switched.
Okay.
And to keep, if we switch it, to keep it that way.
Yes. Thank you. Mr. Tuthill.
I'm not against it, but you're going to mess up my whole world. I've been 25 years on this committee on Thursday.
I understand. And
I'm going to have to change my whole world.
that was in consideration because you are the longest member up here. And, but I think for the betterment of
No,
just,
like I said, I'm not against the idea. I'm just going to have to change things in my head.
yeah, you're gonna show up on Thursdays and you're like, oh, you're a day late.
Yeah, where's everybody?
Well, the thing I think that we want to consider here is like as members begin to age out off the committee, what caliber of people do we want to attract to the committee, and what Santee residents do you want to attract, and will those people have jobs in San Diego where they work and they get off work and then have to come to the meeting? Like me, I get off work, I come straight here, and I still barely make it in time. So 4 o'clock would be impossible. 5 o'clock is difficult. 5:30 is doable. But as we add more members or some members, retire and new members come on, a 4 o'clock meeting is going to be difficult for people to do during the week if they have a job. So I want to consider that like 6:30 was very reasonable for people who, need to come out, do a meeting, then go home to their families a little bit later than normal. So I think we should consider, like, I can make 5 work if that's what everyone wants, you know, but I definitely would like to see it not go any earlier than that, or 5:30 is reasonable. But I definitely don't think it should you know, ease into the afternoons personally, because I think we won't attract anyone else. We'll attract retired people in the city, which is great. You know, we need some of their voices on this committee, but ultimately SPARC should be advising the city council on what we think the San Diego Parks and Recreation vision should be. And I think for us to do that, we need to have people of all different genres, you know, of the Santee citizens. So in order to do that, we're going to need some working individuals on this board.
Completely understand. Thank you. Cindy?
Oh, my comment about, I have obligations on Wednesdays that don't happen like June, July, August. And so I'd rather not have to miss them once a month for 12 months, which is what's going on with me. But I also like going to the concerts and don't appreciate having to miss one for the SPARC meetings. So
Great. Thank you. So I am going to propose a motion that we move it to the first Wednesday of each month at 5 p.m. And I will look for a second. Okay. Anyone else have a proposal?
5:30.
On first Wednesday? Okay. We have a a motion for 5:30 on the first Wednesday.
I'll second that.
Okay. So we have Ms. Price and Ms. Marical as first and second. Let's call for a vote for 5:30, first Wednesday, changing the SPARC. I'm sorry. Yes, hold on.
I have a question. Is that for the whole year,
Forever.
or is that going to be just summer?
That is permanently moving the Santee Parks and Recreation meeting to 5:30 on Wednesdays. And that's the first and second we have up here.
Chair Velasco.
Aye.
Vice Chair Bickford.
Aye.
Committee Member Carlton.
no.
Committee Member Markow.
Aye.
Committee Member McCarthy.
No.
Committee Member Price.
Yes.
Committee Member Tuthill.
Hey,
That motion carries by 2/3, 5 members voting yes, 2 members voting no.
Thank you. So next month, we will be here at 5:30 on Wednesday.
I hope.
Well, you have to change your calendar. Okay. Item number 5, Community Services Department update and reports. Staff, is there any updates? Nick?
Thank you, Chairperson. I do have a few things to talk about. So it's been a while since we met. We didn't get a chance to get together in January. I wish everyone had a good holiday. But I do want to let everyone know how the staff closure went, only regarding CSD and PSD operations. So we had a staff closure, which we call a winter recess. It started on the 23rd of December, and it went through January 1st, and we all returned back to the office on January 2nd. I want to essentially let the committee members know, because I'm sure there's been some thoughts about it, because this is the first ever winter closure that the city has done. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the city council is considering possibly adopting this, possibly for this calendar year, and they may be considering it at the upcoming council meeting or the following council meeting after that. But I do want to let you know, for the most part, that the Community Services Department, we prepared. We didn't get a lot of calls. We didn't get a lot of people upset about this notion itself. We actually received 2 voicemails. One of those voicemails was there was a coyote at Woodglen Vista Park. The other one was about a room rental inquiry, which we were able to quickly resolve, and we were able to call the individual. And when we opened on January 2nd, everything went well. At the same time, we also received 4 phone calls to our park patrol phone. 2 of those phone calls were essentially just to confirm a reservation, which the park person that received the phone call essentially confirmed it all went well. And 2 of those other phone calls were essentially to inquire about a field reservation, which we were able to grant that individual the field reservation upon January 2nd. So needless to say, the winter closure went well for CSD standards, PSD standards as well. I'm sure other departments may provide some updates to City Council in the coming weeks, but I just want to let you know, our esteemed group here, that the winter closure went well. That's one item I wanted to talk about. Regarding future development, right now we are looking to redevelop the playground at Shadow Hill Park. Right now we're looking at some few designs, and we're also trying to identify finances to essentially finance this redevelopment. Moving forward, we also intend to possibly also redevelop the playground at Woodglen Vista Park. I do want to engage this committee during that redevelopment, so be on the lookout for some information regarding that relatively pretty soon. But something that will happen this calendar year is we're going to resurface the basketball courts at Woodglen Vista Park, and we're also going to resurface the tennis courts at Woodglen Vista Park. But we're also going to do an additive to that. We're going to resurface the tennis courts and make it a dual to pickleball use. So that should be great for the pickleball community, and they should have a great time. I know our esteemed pickleball community at Big Rock Park is also relatively pretty excited about this because there's a lot of pickleballers that live really close to Woodglen Vista Park. Other than that, I do want to share an update. I'm not sure if you guys remember, there was an individual here. An individual showed up about a few SPARC meetings ago and talked about potentially starting a program at Big Rock Park. And that program was, you would essentially hoist a sign on some, it could be like on a post, and you would put picker-uppers for trash cans. I'm not sure if you guys recall, it was a total altruistic group. I want to let everyone know that we worked on an ROE, right of entry, with this individual. He signed the ROE, went through our legal process, went through the staff process. We're looking to start this program up in April. So it went through, and this is all because of your recommendations. So I want to thank you guys for providing that feedback, and your feedback made this happen. So we're going to start the pilot program at Big Rock Park. It's going to go great. It's going to be good for the community. It's going to be welcomed by everyone. I'm sure the pickleballers are going to be ecstatic about this program. I'm sure the school's going to be ecstatic. It's going to be a new program for them as well. That's mainly all that I wanted to provide. Also, another item before I forget. It doesn't really have much to do with SPARC, but being that the San Diego River touches Mass Park, I thought it would be good to share because the San Diego River does touch Mass Park, and from time to time we do get calls about homelessness in our river bottom. And the River Park Foundation, they held a point-in-time count last week, and it's my joy to share this information with you that we had about roughly 120 individuals that were in our river shed as of last year around this time frame. We are now down to in the low 40s. So we have significantly dropped that by 60%. I'd be remiss if I don't thank our amazing team at Public Services, Sam and Eric Hayes. They've done a phenomenal job working on the abatement processes. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the County of San Diego and the Encampment Resolution Grant. Also, be remiss if I didn't thank the River Park Foundation. They're phenomenal partners. Also, I can't forget about our Sheriff's Department. We can't do anything without them. So I want to thank that. I want to thank all these groups for all those efforts. We're doing a lot of impacts, but at the same time, we want to make sure the individuals in the riverbed are getting the services that they need, of course. So with that said, I wanted to share that information with all of you. That is all.
Great, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. What does redevelopment mean as far as the parks go?
Redevelopment of the playground only.
So what does that mean? That means we're gonna
We are going to
redo-
remove what is currently there, excavate everything, and we are going to work with a contractor to bring a new playground to those areas.
Okay.
No
Any
worries.
other questions? All right, thank you, Nick. Ann?
I'm going to hand it right back over to Alicia because she has something important to say. So thank you.
All right, so Special Events has some cool things coming up. The first is we're going to have a blood drive here at City Hall. That will be on Wednesday, February 19th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Appointments can be made at our website, santeespecialevents.com. The second will be Fido Fest, and we have a video to show you again.
Again, because it was so popular before. I know how to press go.
you hear the news?
No, what news?
Fido Fest is almost here.
What's that?
Fido Fest is a awesome event for both furry friends and humans. Come enjoy yummy treats, size contests, a costume contest, talent shows, adoption events, and a possum canine demonstration. All pups and pooches are welcome.
Let's raise the woof! Wow, I can't wait!
See you there.
Okay, so as the video said, Fido Fest is coming up on Saturday, February 22nd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Town Center Community Park East. We will have dog agility courses, contests, arts and crafts, live demonstrations, and more. We're also hosting a donation drive for the participating rescues, so we're encouraging the public to bring unopened dog food, bedding, blankets, and toys, and you get entered into an opportunity drawing to win some cool prizes. As of right now, we have 20 rescues and 50 vendors signed up, so it's going to be an amazing event. We're very excited. The San Diego Humane Society will be there. They're going to have licensing and free microchipping on site. So again, if you go to our website, santeespecialevents.com, you can see what kind of documentation you need, as well as how much the licensing costs. It depends if your dog is altered or unaltered, and if it's a renewal or a new license. So we're very excited for Fido Fest. That's a staff favorite for us. So you should have gotten a handout also with some of the other events that we have coming up. So our event after Fido Fest will be Discover Your Community Day. This will be in collaboration with Elevate the Arts Foundation, who is also hosting a 2-2 fun run at the beginning of the event. The 2-2 fun run will begin at 10 a.m. It's 2.2 miles, but it's as much as you'd like to do, as much or as little. The money goes back to the Elevate Arts Foundation, which supports scholarships, local arts education, and free classes for children with special needs in Santee. And their organization is a combination of Stomp Music School and Expressions Dance. We will have local and regional cultural performances. So those two groups will be hosting performances, as well as Pride Academy will have Ballet Folklorico. White Dragon Martial Art Academy will be bringing the Lion Dancers back this year, which was a big hit last year as well. And we should be having a community drum circle as well this year. So we're very excited about that. We'll also have some youth entrepreneurship. I don't know if you guys are familiar. There's a youth fair that we have here in Santee, hosted by Momentum Tutoring in the school district. So some of those youth entrepreneurs will be joining us as well. We'll also have some nature and conservation education. If you joined us for Santee Discovery Day last year, it's going to be a combination of that event, as well as the community celebration, as well as some community resources for people who attend. More information at santeespecialevents.com, as well as the link to register for the 2-2 fun run. There will also, I've been told, be 2-2s available to purchase on site for anyone who is interested. You can also see we have our Santee Bunny Trail coming up. That's our yearly egg hunt event at Santee Trolley Square. That'll be on April 12th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., as well as our Friday Nights Live series. So we're going to have 3 of those this year instead of our usual 4, and the 4th will be replaced by an additional summer movie in the park. The movie in the park will be on June 7th from 5 to 10 p.m. at Town Center Community Park East. We should be showing Moana 2. So we're very excited about all the things coming up, and I hope you guys join us. Does anybody have any questions?
For the movie night, is it?
Sure.
Does the movie start like around dark, like 8 to 10? So at the beginning is just kind of fun hanging out.
Correct. So you should have some pre-show entertainment. We usually have like Primo DJ. He'll come up and do like some dance and fun activities with the kids, and then we'll have a bunch of booths with like giveaways and activities and crafts and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So yeah, the movie will begin at dusk when the sun goes down.
Looks fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
You said 50 vendors for the
Fido
Fest
Fest.
event. That's a lot.
It is a lot, yeah. We actually had to
Last
cut off
year-
the vendors.
Last year we had a little under that, correct? I mean,
I believe so.
40 something.
Yeah. 20 rescues is also a lot for us. I think that's the most that we've had so far. So we're
It's gonna
excited.
be a great event.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
So even if you don't have a dog, there will be rescues there, so you can find a dog. So we love to see SPARC members at our events. That way you actually get a real initial feel of what the event is. Even if you just come by and say hi. We like that too. So thank you, Alicia. The special events team works so hard, and they put on great events, and I really appreciate everything they do. I'm really proud of their quality of work. So thank you. Let's go right into another video. This event is not ours, but I'm going to promote it to you anyway because it's kind of recreation-y. Here you go.
Hi, it's Dino with Dino's Pub. I'm excited to be here today to tell you about the second annual Heroes Classic Golf Tournament, a collaboration between the City of Santee and their active duty military unit that they support. It's going to be a fun, exciting day. All the friends, all the families are going to be out here in our active duty military units. Come out and be a part of it. Find out more information at the City of Santee's website, and you'll see me out on the course serving you up a frosty beer or a nice cocktail. Thank you. Thank you for, I had no idea.
I didn't know you were in it, honestly. Bree just wants me to make sure that everybody's aware of the event. If you'd like to come and participate, please do. Even if you're not a golfer, you can actually sponsor an active duty military person to participate. So there's many options in which you can give and support our military, adopted military units. So just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of that. That is February 13th, so that's next week. So sign up now. Just a heads up, recreation programs are still ongoing. We are in the middle of winter classes right now. And in January, we kind of had a new type of outreach program. I would call it an event. It was our trail mixers. And we held 3 community events that exposed people to adjacent trails that we actually oversee. And they were pretty well attended. We had people register in advance, and then we also took people who walked in. So we had one up at Weston Park. I didn't hear you were there. Did you look at us?
I saw you with the kids.
Well, you could have planted a tree there. Yeah. So.
You guys did such a great job.
Awesome. We had about 24 participants show up, and they planted trees and also did some fun activities with the kids, and then also took a walk, which there's a trail up there that's very nice and very calming. Goes down all the way down to Mass Boulevard. Our second one was at Cowles Mountain, and it was we were encouraging our teens to walk up Cowles Mountain. Getting teens to do anything is not always easy, but we did have a group of them make it a part of the mountain, and we also invited people in the public to attend. That one wasn't as well attended, but it was a fun activity, and it's a great exposure for the kids that go to the teen center, which is right adjacent to the mountain. And then our last one was our most successful. I would say we had about 50 people. It was a tour of the Santee Historical Society, the barn, along with a River Park Foundation docent-led walk down Walker Preserve. So that one was our most popular. So a lot of families came out, got exposed to a little history of Santee, and Walker Preserve is part of history of our community. So that we felt that was very successful. We always like in January to get people out and moving and into their communities and look at all the assets that we have here trails-wise. Our teens and seniors, there's calendars that you can pick up. They have a calendar for the upcoming months, lots of stuff going on there. And our just wanted to let you know that our parks and fields are busy. We have the synthetic fields now, and they are very well populated at all times. That park is open till 10 p.m., so there are lots of youth groups, but also followed by adult groups until 10 p.m. in the evening. And I wanted to let you know that we do actually coordinate and partner with our youth sports partner group, our partnered youth sports organizations. We call them PISO. And Little League season's right coming up. So opening day for Little League is March 1st. We have Santee National Little League. They are based out of Rio Seco, and then West Hills Little League. They're based at West Hills Park. If you are out on that morning, March 1st, there will be traffic. There will be parking. It will be very crowded. So Town Center Park and West Hills Park. But it's always a great day for the kids to go play ball. Wanted to also make you aware that we we have a partnership with the YMCA to operate the Santee Aquatic Center. So a lot of people go, oh, it's the Y Pool. Well, actually, it's the Santee Aquatic Center because it is open to the public for a nominal fee, and we also sometimes host free events there or free swim there. We have been working with them closely to make sure that they are offering the programs to our community that have been desired, and we've done some surveys, et cetera, about youth sports, and there was a desire for more swim team engagement as well as water polo, and we went through the Olympics, and it definitely grew in popularity. So they are actually currently offering those programs right now. So they've gotten a new aquatics manager on board, and they're having a lot of attendance at those two programs. That's it for me. And if you need more information, santeerec.com or santeespecialevents.com. Any questions?
Yes, Ms. Carlton.
When you say the pool is Santee Aquatics, I don't have to be a member. I don't know how the Y works, but I don't have to be a member. I can just say, hey, I want to swim. I'm a Santee resident.
It's not free. There is a nominal fee.
Okay.
But yeah, even non-residents can swim at that. So it's a public pool during their open swim advertised lap swim and open swim times. So it depends on their hours of operation.
And I can find that on the YMCA website?
Also, our santeerec.com, we do have a page just for the aquatic center.
Okay.
Because their hours do change frequently. We do at least have our rates there. And then sometimes their seasonal hours of their pools change. So we do connect you to a link for the Y for the specific pool schedule.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Anything else? Nope.
Thank you.
Okay.
And Sam, do you have an update for us?
I have nothing but good news to report to you. Wanted to see Nick's face right there. My illustrious leader gave me a plethora of items to speak about tonight, and I'm thankful for, because everything on this list is normal day-to-day to me, and he makes me realize that this is stuff that you guys probably want to hear. So, tree planting at Weston on January 11th, we planted about 30 trees. It's a combination of cork oaks and mesquites. Cork oaks are very cool trees. That's where you get the corks from for wine bottles. If you want to see a couple mature ones, there's some at West Hills Park. Very distinct bark. They're beautiful. They're cool trees. So when they harvest the corks, they can cut the bark and peel it off. And I think it's like every 10 years you can harvest corks off of a cork oak. So they're called Quercus subers. And there's probably 15 of them now at Weston Park. Speaking of Weston Park, I think it's unofficially official that the robot lawnmower is a cutting success.
It really is. It's amazing.
Every time I'm up there, I kind of goof around with it and clean it up, and somebody stops and comments positively about it, and they love it. And I don't make it cut during the daytime anymore, and a lot of people ask why. They miss seeing it. So maybe in the spring, the grass is starting to green up a little bit. So maybe in the spring we'll make it cut in the daytime again. I think the people really like it. It's a success. So why I'm telling you that is that we're probably going to expand the program and get some more and put them throughout our parks. We have to consider certain things. There's some unsavourable, unhoused people that might want to borrow that lawnmower for the batteries or whatever. So we're constantly thinking of strategizing of where to put them. Our public works supervisor and our park and rec supervisor applied for, or actually they're recertifying as certified CPSI, Certified Playground Safety Inspector. It's a very rigorous test. We need one on staff, or we don't need it, but we should have one on staff. Every city should. We have two now. Hopefully, if they pass the test, we're going to get the results soon. So it's a hard test. I used to have it. So they had it before, and they passed it previous time. So I'm confident they passed it again. So I saved the best for last. I don't know if you guys listened to council the last council meeting. Our Area 1 contract, which is all our park maintenance. So park landscape maintenance is called Area 1. So we have a company that are doing a great job doing all the landscape work within the parks, and we also have a janitorial company that's doing a great job. But we did an analysis of the cost, and we determined that we could do it in-house and save on average about $285,000 a year out of the general fund budget. So we pitched it to council, and they were very excited and told us to proceed. So this next council meeting, if they approve it, which I have a feeling they might, we're going to appropriate about $250,000 to get gear, trucks, zero-turn lawnmowers, weed whackers, blowers, seed containers, a UTV. I got a list. I got a lot of work. I'm getting close to retirement, and I gave myself a work pill, but I'm still getting 100% out of me. It's great news. What this means is that while our contractors did a great job, they're for profit, and they come in and, you know, they clean the restrooms, change the trash cans, and blow off the sidewalks, and they're off to the next park. And our strategy is we're going to hire 5 additional employees. So we have 2, so we'll have a total of 7. And we'll have, like Mass Park, we'll have 1 guy there dedicated there all day, Monday through Thursday, 4 days a week. Town Center East, a big park, will have 1 guy there all day, Monday through Thursday. On Friday, these guys will be split crew. They're going to work 980 hours, 980 shifts. So half the guys will be off on Friday, and the other half will work an 8-hour day. And on those Fridays, they'll go to the fire stations, City Hall, our operations yard, and do landscaping there. So every 2 weeks, fire stations and City Hall will get touched. On the weekends, we'll have part-time employees. We're hoping to get 2. If you know anybody that wants to open up parks and change some trash cans and clean up between party rentals, it'll be a part-time gig. We're looking for 2 of those, 2, as well as the 5. So applications will open up soon, hopefully, if council approves it. I think our quality will be far better. We'll have a person at each park. Weston will be West Hills and Weston. So that'll be West Hills will be the main park. There's baseball fields and big restrooms and everything. So, but Weston will be like a satellite park. So same with Shadow Hill. That person will be based out of Shadow Hill, but they'll get Sky Ranch. I think there's another little park, like Mass Park West Trail or something like that. So the bigger parks will get 1 person. So what will happen, we think, and well, actually we know, I used to do it in San Diego, is you start seeing the same worker there all the time, and you start getting a rapport with the citizens, and you get to know them, and you might walk by and say, hey, I saw a busted sprinkler last night, and the guy will be like, he's there, and he can fix everything. The bathroom might get destroyed, and he's there 8 hours a day. So our level of service will be through the roof. I think we'll have a better product, and we convince council, so we're going to move forward. I think it'll be a great program. So I'm sure there's some questions. That's all I have.
Congratulations on that. That's awesome, and I'd love to see it come in-house and have a little bit of pride in our parks, not being a subcontracted. I'm excited about Mass Park because that's our newest and most beautiful park, and I've had concerns in the past with you and our folks there. So I'm really excited to see us having a little bit of ownership in our maintenance. Yes, Miss Stephanie.
I've got questions about the softball fields. They're not in very good shape, and there's there's a lot of holes out there and a lot of broken ankle potential with the kids starting up this weekend. And right now, they're practicing right now. But it's, I was there a week ago, and I'm really sad. We put all that money into those 1 in 5, and it's So I'm glad the city, you're going to be taking charge of it. I'm excited about that. Totally
We are too.
excited.
We are too.
So,
That's one of the reasons. I mean, we think we can do a better job.
but there's so many gophers and holds out there and stuff in the fields that,
We are in the process, if council approves, of purchasing a machine. It's called, I think it's called Gopher X. It's a carbon monoxide. It uses no pesticides. It's just exhaust from a lawnmower engine on a dolly. And you put it in the gopher hole with tracer smoke, which is like an oil that burns, and you gas them out in place. There's many benefits to that. You don't need any crazy pesticide licenses or certifications for that. If the gopher were to get dug up by a dog or a cat, it's not full of strychnine bait and kill the dog or the hawk or the owl that ate it. So it's well researched. We've done our homework on this, so we will get rid of the gophers.
okay, thanks.
Can you come to my front yard? I have one gopher that's destroying my yard, and my wife will not let me out it.
Oh, we can fix that.
Any other questions? Great. Thank you, Sam. Thank you.
You're
for your
welcome. Thank you.
update. Okay. Committee updates, reports, general announcements. Are there any committee reports or announcements? Okay, thank you all. James, are there any non-agenda public comments?
We do indeed have one. Kylie Scholar.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you. This is on. Okay. My name is Kylie Scholar, and I really loved hearing all of that. And Stephanie, Ms. Price, thank you for your comments also. I am here, many of you may recognize me, I've been here before, to talk a little bit about what's happening at our fields. Gophers aside, because that is definitely an issue. I do want to thank you again for Fields 1 and 5 because I never want to come off ungrateful. But I do want to address a couple of things that I think are kind of pressing issues that are affecting the safety of our children at the fields. I have a list, so bear with me. I'm on the wrong page here. So, also, softball opening day is this Saturday, the 8th. We have about almost 400 girls in our league, 34 teams. So we are, if we talk about crowds and parking and all the issues, you know, we know how that is, but that will be happening this weekend. The first thing I want to talk about, though, are the lights on the old fields, fields 2, 3, and 4. I understand that those lights are not as fabulous as the new lights we have in field 1 and 5, and I don't think that anyone is complaining about the fact that they aren't as bright when they work. However, we have a very big problem on those fields with so many lights being out that the lighting on the fields when girls are trying to play at night, it's so dim. For instance, on field 2, my daughter's practicing there. Her practice just ended 3 minutes ago. In left field, 4 of the 6 lights in the light bank are out. 4 out of 6. Last week it was 3. I checked tonight before I came here, and it's now 4. In right field, 3 out of 6 are out. And on first base, 2 out of 4 are out. Let me double check my numbers here. 3 out of 4 are working, actually. So we have 4, 5, 6, at least 7 lights out on that field, and I think the total lights are close to 20 on that field. Same thing on fields 3 and 4. It's the same issue. Field 2 is definitely the worst, though. I mean, in left field, you can't. I don't even know if I'd say it's safe, to be honest with you. So that's a big thing. I know the other thing, too, is just lighting in general. I don't think there's a single parking lot lamp that's working. So we were playing on field 1 the other night, which is down by the snack bar, and I had to park by field 2 because there was no parking down there. That was the only game going on. I had to walk in complete darkness to my car. I left my kids at the field when I went and got my car, just because it was so dark down there. Not a single light in the parking lot. And that was the only lights on, so in the field, just field 1. So it's just kind of a safety issue, not only for our kids, but also just for us. And then also We are so grateful that the men's lights got back on in the bathroom because I know they were out.
Chair,
but-
would you like her to continue?
We'll let you continue, but please consolidate. We understand
got it.
lights are an
You
issue,
got it.
and we're
Thank you.
gonna address that.
Got it.
But
Thanks.
let's wrap.
I appreciate the extra time. There are lights around the snack bar that are out as well. In the women's bathroom, only one of the two is working. Whatever we did in the men's bathroom is amazing. The lights are so bright in there, it's like daylight. It's not like that in the women's, though. The other big issue to me is the electrical boxes, the covers over the top of them. There's probably about 5 or 6 of them at Field 1. Almost all of them are busted there. We just had a 3-year-old step in it the other day and twist her ankle because there's holes about this size in most of them. I did take pictures of these. I'm happy to email them to any of you guys if you want. There's also one over by Field 5 by the batting cage that's also got a big hole. I did mention this to somebody with the Parks Department a few months ago. I thought it would be taken care of pretty quickly, but it wasn't. So those are the big things. The only other thing I can say is I know there's an issue with our roll-up in the snack bar, the one that was busted and broken into. I don't know if maybe there's an update on that. I have one more huge one, actually. Okay. Thank you. I'm so sorry. This one's a hard one. So there's a maintenance closet between the 2 bathrooms. I know we have a key to it. I know we can maybe get toilet paper out of there or something. It is disgusting. There's rat feces over the whole thing. You open it up and it smells like death. There are rats. We have rat traps in the snack bar, but they're definitely living in there. It's just, you can't even go in and get anything. We are using toilet paper that's stored in there for our children to wipe their bottoms with. And it's horrendous.
Okay. Ms. Kelly, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
And we will make sure, and I see a Nick over here taking furious notes. We will make sure that we address some of the concerns out there. And since it's your opening week, I'm sure we'll put a little fire under Sam's tush to get out there and work on some of this stuff. Thank you so much.
I know you guys have so much to do. You're covering a large area, and we appreciate you so much. So thank you.
I appreciate you fighting for your girls out there.
Thank you.
Can I make a comment?
You can make a comment.
I just had an incident in my neighborhood about the street light. So there are processes in place. You call this number, you leave a message, and nothing happens. And so then you call this number, or you go you call City Hall, and they say, okay, you need to go here and call this number. And so we call the numbers and things happen. It was a long process. I finally went to City Hall and I talked to the engineer who said, my lights are SDG&E and they have 2 weeks to clean it up, to fix it. Oh my God, the light is awesome. But I think I'm probably the only one in my neighborhood that said anything about the lights. And I'm thinking that maybe at the ball field, that everybody thinks everybody knows that the lights are out. And sometimes we have to take the time, and you shouldn't have to come to a SPARC meeting to do it. I love coming here. But still, the processes work, even if you have to nudge them sometimes. It did take them 16 days to change my life. But, oh my God.
Thank you. Dan?
Yeah, and we appreciate seeing you here also. But, we do have a My Santee app where you can take a picture and make a report straight from your phone.
Well, who is in charge of the area, the maintenance closet between the 2 bathrooms at this park? What is that? Stephen Smith?
No, that's Sam over there. That's the city. So, but the My Santee app, I do want to say it's been revamped and it is amazing. And the one great thing,
I think we're past the app. This is
no, we're not actually past the app. For citizens out there,
kids are using. This is kind of embarrassing that she has to come here and tell us this, and we're
completely understand. I understand where you're going with that.
Come on,
committee member.
Some responsibility here.
What I'm trying to get across though is that we have an actual Santee app, and a lot of people don't know about it. And I could tell you, I used to be the purveyor of Riverwalk Grill at the Town Center Community East. And this app, you take a picture, not just your lights. Your lights, we have that. We're going to work on that. Your rats, we're going to work on that. But I want folks to know about the Santee app because you could take a picture, you make a note of what's happening. And the cool thing about that app is it's accountable. It goes into a system, and I'm sure somebody who's responsible for that, they say, how many, things do you have in there? There's an accountability. So the app, besides from this stuff, if you see, I see other things around city, but there was times where I took a picture and showed graffiti, and literally within 3 hours they were out there fixing it and cleaning it. And there's times where there's the bathroom light out, so the app was very useful for me as just a citizen, not the chair of SPARC. So I encourage you to look at the app, download the app. But as far as your concerns for the girls' fields, we'll definitely take a look at that.
Thank you. And we have used the app. To be fully honest with you, I never thought about using it for that. I only thought about using it at our home. Like, we had some asphalt that just was really messed up, and we did use the app, and it was fixed quickly.
Yes. So
I will encourage that with people who come to us as board members.
Because the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and but I think in this case. Would you like to say anything towards that?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to work with staff tomorrow. I know your opening week is forthcoming. I'll work with staff to develop a plan. The plan will be resolved, but I do want to echo what our chair said. And I do listen to what our other members said over here to the right. But in thesis, I think the trend here is if individuals decide to approach the director or Sam or any other staff about issues, we will resolve. But when you file some of these concerns on the My Santee app, there's a track, there's a track record. Hey, I reached out to the city 2 weeks ago, nothing has been done. Then someone has to be held accountable. You're right.
And I will say, anytime I've ever
Absolutely
mentioned
right.
something, it gets handled right away. So
Exactly.
I'm really
So
impressed with how
there is some
it
good
happens, yeah.
processes. Yes, sir. There is some phenomenal processes associated with the My Santee app. At the same time, we value you coming here to the meeting. I value when residents come because we're able to hear input and we can fix things. So thank you for coming.
I appreciate you too, and I always tell people that I know this process works because we got our fence on the line. People comment on it all the time. So I truly and honestly, I'm not even trying to be I'm being serious. I sincerely appreciate you guys and all you do for the city. Listening to everything that you guys talked about tonight. It's so cool. I love our community so much.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? Okay. So with that, I would like to adjourn the meeting. Thank you all. We'll see you at the next one.